Hello there, my name is Luciano Oliveira. I'm a Brazilian attorney, and today we're going to be talking about the Brazil Technical Assistance Visa. In this visa, there is no direct labor relationship between the parties, meaning that the Brazilian company who's asking this person to come from abroad is not going to be this person's employer. Instead, there's going to be a relationship between the Brazilian company and a foreign entity who's going to be the actual employer for this employee coming from abroad. Type of technical assistance being provided, it must be technical in nature, mostly related to machinery and technology brought from abroad. In this sense, this visa is not available, for instance, administrative and financial assignments. Another feature is that the relationship must be based on a contract between two different entities, one entity in Brazil and another entity abroad. For example, of documents being required to explain the relationship between the Brazilian entity and the foreign entity are going to be purchase of equipment. So if the Brazilian company is buying equipment from abroad, paperwork is going to need to be shown to support a proper importation of the machinery. It is also possible that a contract is going to be provided to support a relationship between the Brazilian entity and the foreign entity of technical assistance services only. In other words, the Brazilian party would be hiring a company abroad to provide technical assistance. This visa is also available for companies from the same economic group. So think about a large company abroad in the United States and a subsidiary in Brazil. In this case, the company abroad in the US would send technical personnel to the subsidiary in Brazil to assist with the implementation of a new equipment. Documents for the employee coming from abroad are going to be passport, apostilled birth certificate, and criminal records. For the Brazilian entity, you're going to need to show entity formation paperwork, company minutes showing that the person signing for the application is responsible for representing the Brazilian entity. Depending on the paperwork, it's also necessary to include documentations about the company abroad. For this specific visa, there is a possibility of an inspector from the Ministry of Labor in Brazil to visit the place of relationship or employment to make sure that the visit from the technician from abroad is strictly being provided in accordance with the paperwork provided to the Brazilian immigration. This visa is commonly provided for up to a year, potentially renewable for longer, particularly if the warranty provided for a machinery is of a longer duration. Interesting to note that an urgent processing of the paperwork is available upon request. All petitioners for this type of visa are the company receiving the equipment, a local company providing the services to the end user of the equipment, or another intermediary company in Brazil related to both the Brazilian end user of the equipment and the supplier abroad. I hope this video was helpful. If you have questions, feel free to join us on Wednesdays and Sundays during our live streams here on YouTube. I hope you like this content. If that was the case, please like it on YouTube so other people may find this content. And I hope to see you in our next video.